Thrive Nation, on today's show, I'm going to interview a couple a couple of people, a wonderful group of people who've actually worked with us. They have a family business, and they've allowed us to help them to grow their business. And I'm here to celebrate their success and to hopefully encourage you that you too can grow your business. And now, without any further ado, we have the founders of Glue and Nails on the Thrivetime Show. How are you guys?
We're wonderful. Thank you, Clay.
Wonderful.
How long have you guys worked with us here at the Thrivetime Show and Make Your Life Epic Business Consulting?
It will be 2 years, June 11th, I think, right about there.
2 years? Okay.
Yes.
And what kind of growth have you seen? Have you grown by 0.5%? Have you grown by 1%? What sort of growth have you seen thus far?
So far this year, 92% over last year. Last year was similar numbers.
Wow. And now, what's your website? I know people want to go to your website now and again, verify that you're not a hologram.
Glueandnails.com.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up on the screen here so people can see. It's glueandnails.com, glueandnails.com. And I want to brag on you guys for a second because what I do is I grow businesses, but I can't grow businesses unless I work with diligent clients that are willing to put in the effort to actually implement the proven systems. And so you guys have grown your business dramatically, but it's not as a result of just coming to a weekly meeting and then not doing your homework. So I'd like to get your thoughts here. Don, what was the most challenging first step that you guys had to take? Because I sit down with every client to make a plan, a 13-point assessment, then I give you guys a plan. What was the biggest first challenge that you guys had to overcome en route to growing your business and actually implementing the plan?
We had to realize that we were doing it wrong.
Okay.
And you pointed out, you just have to stick with what you point out, what you say, put the numbers here, put the numbers there, and sticking with it, doing it constantly.
Every day.
Every day.
And I think that a lot of people, because people email in a lot, or the last questions they'll say, well, what was the one thing that moved your business the most? And I would just say it would be like asking maybe someone who builds cars, what's the most important one part of the car that makes it work? Because one could make a compelling argument that the tires are the most compelling, or that the steering wheel is the most important, or the transmission is the most important. But it's all of those systems working together. So I want to go kind of piece by piece. So let's start with the numbers. Let's start with the accounting for a second, or the bookkeeping. I know for a lot of people that is a source of overwhelm, looking at their numbers and being intentional about charging enough to hit your financial goals. And I think, if I'm correct, I think you guys were guilty of undercharging, where a lot of people try to take advantage of people and overcharge. I think you two were guilty of undercharging. Greg, am I accurate there? Were you guys undercharging at one point?
We didn't want to upset our customers, Clay. You are absolutely correct. Yes. And in fact, our hourly charge is currently 3 times what it was when we started.
Now, when working with you guys have always done excellent work, and so when people go to your website, they're going to see excellent work and craftsmanship, home remodeling, next level work. One thing I think you also, Don, that you guys were guilty of is under branding yourself. Like, you guys do great work and you're super humble people, but you weren't running around saying we're awesome. And then, you were actually kind of under branding your website, under branding your before and afters, under branding your testimonials. Can you talk about how much that's helped you guys to actually, update the branding and update the marketing that you're doing to get more customers?
The customers see the before and after. They like to see that. They just the pictures, the quality, the honesty that we have. The customer, a family-owned business, just to see before and afters. They like to be able to see that the pictures, the going to the website, updating the pictures, posting them on our the Google business. They have to see that, and that has helped us show customers this is what, getting it out of their head and putting it in person. they
And
need to see
again,
that.
you guys have grown, Greg, by as a percentage. How much have you guys grown? I mean, is it safe to say you've doubled your company? Have you doubled in size?
Oh, yes, I would say our average year previous to meeting you, 200 to 300, maybe 350 maximum gross income per year. We're staring right down the barrel of 900,000 this year, and we just went through first quarter, which is traditionally the worst quarter for construction and remodeling.
And so you guys have tripled your business.
Yes.
And again, what I love about your story is you're super humble, kind to people. And someone thinks, well, wow, this Clay, what do you do? Is it just accounting? Is it just marketing? Is it just branding? It's all of it. It's end to end. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Greg. Having the consistent meeting every week, knowing that that's a rock in your schedule that you can kind of build upon. How big of an impact has that had for your family business?
It's huge. And we're very fortunate to be close to your office too, so that we get to have those in-person meetings. We could Zoom, but when I was young, I was told if you work really hard, you'll be wealthy. That's not true. You can pound your head against the wall for many years, which I did, and that's hard work, and you have blood, sweat, and tears involved, but it doesn't produce anything. You have to have a system. You bring the other half of that system that works for us. We bring the hard work. You bring the intelligence, and it works. It's a great system.
And what are all the system or all the processes that you guys have had to refine? I mean, have you started working on sales scripting yet? Again, for a lot of people, they think, marketing is an event. All of a sudden, you're going to get more sales, but you're really marketing. Branding is step one. Marketing is step two. So branding is improving the look and the perception people have of your business. Step two is getting in front of your ideal and likely buyers. And then selling is actually a different thing. That's kind of step three here. Have we worked with you guys yet on the scripting and the sale and the selling? Have you started implementing those systems yet, Greg?
We have not implemented any particular sales system, mainly because so far the businesses coming in is almost overwhelming for us to handle. So we're still building the system there, but we are certainly working on sales script. That's coming soon.
So what you're saying is you have so many leads coming in, it's almost like a fire hose?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Really? Now, Dawn, you, if I'm correct, I believe you do a lot of the numbers in the business. You look at the accounting and the numbers. I find a lot of wonderful people, humble entrepreneurs and contractors tend to die a death by invoice, where they become almost like a bank. They don't want to be a bank, but they offer the customer terms like, hey, we'll remodel your kitchen and you can pay us 90 days after it's done or 60 days after it's done. And then all of a sudden the customer doesn't pay or they pay late. And then you end up being stuck with all the overhead, all the bills, and none of the money. Have you guys, have we worked with you on that at all as far as refining the billing process?
Absolutely. You told us don't be a bank. You're not a bank. So we refined the invoices where we do deposit up front, and then we're able to use that in phases for the contract for the work.
Yes. That was one of the first words out of your mouth in our first meeting. Was don't be the bank.
Don't be the bank.
And quite frankly, we did take draws in the past, but they weren't well thought out. It was just some arbitrary number. Now I write most of our spreadsheets, and we now know what money we will need by what phase in the job, each and every job, and we try to stick to that. And the pain is much less than it was in the past.
You guys, just like oxyfresh.com and tiptopcanine.com and a lot of the brands we've worked with for years, you guys have been to the workshops. You've actually been to my home. You've met the staff. You've really taken it all in. I'd love to get your thoughts on the workshop, how that may have helped you in your growth there, Greg. How have the workshops helped you guys?
We've been to 6 or 8 workshops. I've lost track. We go virtually every time because you can't learn it all the first time, unless you're smarter than me, which wouldn't be very difficult. But we learn something new from some entrepreneur every single time we come to one of these meetings. There's just always something new to learn. You can't get it all in one any more than you can read the Bible and know everything that's in it just because you read it once. So it's the same thing here. We can't, we go each time and find something new, some new thing.
Don, can you maybe comment on the format of the workshops? Because when I was growing my first company, djconnection.com, every once in a while, someone would reach out to me or market to me and say, well, Clay, you need to come to this workshop. And I would go, no, I've been to it. I know what it's going to be like. It's going to be some guy who's not going to answer any questions. It's going to be focused on motivation stuff, motivational. That's going to be the angle, is motivational or inspirational. And at no point will somebody have specific action items, and I'm going to waste a day or two of my life. And then at the end, just as a nice reward, they're going to try to upsell me something that I don't want, or some secret program, or they're going to try to sell me on being certified. Or could you maybe explain, Don, what the workshop was like from your experience?
Every workshop we've been to, depending on what stage we were in our business, we would pick up little nuggets of information at each workshop, whether that be you up front or someone else up front, or just from another business owner or entrepreneur. Just those little nuggets. I would take notes, and when I go back through those notes, I knew that this part here was the important nugget for this particular workshop, that whatever phase we were on in our business, that helped us. And then we would implement that where we needed to put that.
You know, and I would say this one thing that what I do is I try to keep the clients on track. You know, and so kind of like if you've ever been on a road trip with a bunch of kids, you know, you're on a road trip and your kids are like, can we go to the bathroom? And if you want to ever get to Iowa and you live in Oklahoma, you have to say, hold it until we get gas, or there's got to be somebody that's going, all right, stay focused. Or if you've ever been a let's say a bus driver, and you've ever had to, okay guys, stop it, we're back there. Or if you've ever been a tour guide or a whitewater rafting tour guide, or you've ever had any position of leadership, sometimes you have to be Mr. Not Fun and keep people on the path, because the new ideas and shiny objects sometimes can distract others. Has it helped you, Greg, at all to have a team that's keeping you on the path? Does that help at all?
100%. Yes. You know, what we got from our last meeting, by the way, which we've heard every single time we go to the meeting, and I'm a believer, but sometimes you just have to beat somebody in the head with things. You have to have a calendar and a to-do list. You ever heard that before, Clay? You have to have, there's a sign, people don't know this, but there's a sign at your place that says things that get scheduled get done. And you cannot accomplish your goals if you don't write it down. And that means every minute of every day. Something comes in, put it on the list.
Right.
It's just a quick thing. It has to happen.
Yeah, and then now having a team to help you do your videography, your photography, your web development, your online ads, all of that, so you don't go back home and have to recode your website or figure out how the ads work. How has that impacted you, Don, as far as having a team that handles a lot of the technology and a lot of those things behind the scenes?
So we don't have to do it, and we probably would do it wrong.
Well,
so
we did it wrong before we got here.
But no, we've learned so much about how we were doing it wrong. But now that we have your team doing that, it's changed everything.
I don't have to be a web designer. Some customer commented the other, oh, your website is just wonderful. We just love your website. How did you do it? And I said, we have a business coach. I don't have to do that. Yeah. I have to build things, and I'm really good at that.
Well, one thing about the growth of a business too is its iterations. It's not, as an example, there was a guy I saw in South Dakota who was a wood carver, and he carved big pieces of wood, into animals, and into a bear or to eagles. And I thought so highly of his craftsmanship that I bought one and brought it back to my office. So I bought one and I sent JT to South Dakota to go pick it up and drive back, a short 24-hour road trip there. But when you look at somebody, these skilled artists, they take a block of wood and they have a chainsaw, and you watch it, and at first you have no idea what they're doing. It looks like they don't have, they don't know what they're doing. And at first if you don't have a lot of faith in the process, it looks kind of weird. They're just chopping stuff off. And if you sit there for like an hour or two, which I did in South Dakota, all of a sudden you start to go, I think that's an eagle. That could be an eagle. Is that an eagle or a bird? Is that a cardinal? And pretty soon you go, an hour later, and then all of a sudden you're chipping away at the details. Now you're making the details, and you come back 4 or 5 hours later, you're going, that is a amazing eagle. And then you think you're done, and you come back 5 hours later, and he's still chipping away. And now it's like a piece of artwork. And that's how growing a business is. You start with the big idea, and you chisel it away every day. And I think now what I'm excited about is we're getting into the details. We're starting to really optimize your core pages in terms of we can focus on, what's the best video testimonial to add to the website, and maybe which one should be at the top. Whereas at first it's just kind of like, if we can get a video testimonial, let's add it to the site. But now we're starting to get enough where it's like, well, let's put the best before and after at the top of the site, so now we're able to really start to make some iterations. Is it more fun now, Greg, now that there's some momentum and now that you get to be more selective about what leads to take on and what projects to work with? Can you maybe talk about that?
We can select our customers now, now that things are under control. Look, every day is a challenge. We work endless hours. People say, how many hours do you work? I say, all of them. I don't know. We just don't stop. But now we actually see how this is going. I had no idea how to nail and then scale, as to use your terminology, our business. I knew how to get up every day and drive nails and cut wood and make it look pretty, and I'm really good at that. And I'm a freak about details and organization and numbers and so forth. But you have to have an engine to drive that really pretty car, and you guys are the engine. Now we see that. We see the destination. The sooner the better. It's the way I see it. Let's get there.
The final two questions I have, I'm going to ask each the same question. So I'm going to go with you, Greg. That way your incredible wife can one up you here. Okay. So for anybody out there that's thinking about coming to an in-person workshop, they're thinking about going to thrivetimeshow.com and requesting a ticket. I'm very clear on these shows. You can pay $250 for a ticket, or you can name your price if you're in a tight spot. Or for anybody thinking about scheduling a one-on-one consultation, that's the first step somebody has to take. They schedule a 13-point assessment with me to see if they're a good fit. What would you say, Greg, to anybody thinking about coming to a workshop or thinking about scheduling a one-on-one consultation?
You couldn't possibly spend better money, in my opinion. And I'm not being paid to say that. I'm paying you. So I don't think you could possibly invest better money into your business than hiring effectively a $9 an hour employee that has turned us into a now, 200%, 300% of what we started at. I'm seeing the sky is the limit. Don't pass up that opportunity. You would make a big mistake.
And I guess as a follow-up to that, then I'll go to your wife. If you were to not have the weekly meetings, let's just say those meetings were weekly or quarterly, what would happen to the business if you didn't have that weekly check-in there, Greg?
Well, I don't know that we would have survived some weeks. It's lest you think you're going to sign up with Thrive 15 and just suddenly, boom, you're successful. That's not the truth. You're still going forward on the path that you were on. Ours was quite rough, and you're going to hit the potholes. But now we can see the potholes before we get to them. And even if that's the road we're on, it's easy for us to handle that as we go now. If you didn't do that every week, wow. Oof. We've had some tough weeks. We've come in there whining a few times, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a rough week. And it is, but we find a strategy, we attack it, we beat the problem down and move on to the next week. And they seem to be getting better every single week.
Don, what do you think would happen if you didn't have the weekly meetings to kind of keep things on track?
We would fall apart. The weekly meetings are, you can't go without them. You can't. It has to be weekly, because you're held accountable for doing the tracking sheet, putting in the numbers, doing all the paperwork, keeping the phone calls organized. You have to have it weekly. Have to.
And what would you say, Don, to anybody out there that's thinking about reaching out to us? You have so many doctors and dentists and lawyers. And whenever I talk to these folks at a conference, they always tell me, I wish I would have called you 10 years ago. And I go, well, did you know about this 10 years ago? And a lot of times they go, yeah, I've listened to your podcast like every day for, 7 years or 8 years, and I just never filled out the form. What would you say to anybody who's just thinking about coming to a conference or filling out that form and requesting a one-on-one consultation?
Go, and there's going to be a nugget that you're going to find of information. Something is there that you need to hear. Something. Wherever it is that you are in your business, you have to be able to have the ears. And like I said, my notebook, I'm a note taker. He's not really, but
Well, I have you.
But taking of the notes, and then going back to the notes, and what was that? Oh yeah, that's what he said. And using that's your little nugget of information that you can get at any of the workshops. One, you can't get all the information in just one workshop. It can be overwhelming, but there's something there that you need to hear.
Well, guys, I am so honored to work with you guys. It really is a pleasure to work with you guys and to see your business grow. And as you know, when you're in the office, the reason why I only take on 160 clients is because I'm always busy. Just yesterday, one of our longtime great clients we've had for over 10 years, his SSL certificate expired because his card got stolen, and with 160 clients, that kind of thing happens to one of my clients every week, and so it's like, that's why I only work with 160 clients, and it's an honor to work with you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys hit that $5 million mark. It's going to happen, and you guys are doing great work. So thank you for carving out time for us, and hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Clay.
For
You
carving
too.
time for us.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Clay.
Bye-bye.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
The Thrivetime Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Without a vision, discipline feels like punishment. But with a vision, discipline feels like alignment. The hard things start to feel like the right things because they are building something.
I know many of you have had a challenging year. Many of you watching this have a successful company. Many of you have a business that has struggled. Maybe you've had a business that you've just, for whatever reason, have never been able to get over the hump. Maybe you've always been just kind of stuck in a rut, and that's become your normal. Maybe you went from the goal you used to have a goal to thrive, and now your goal is just to survive. Well, to build your faith and to build your encouragement that you have the mental capacity and the tenacity needed to succeed, I thought I would get one of our younger success stories on the Thrivetime show so you could talk to an entrepreneur who I don't believe is yet 30 years old, but yet is still achieving massive success. Stephanie, welcome on to the Thrivetime show. How are you?
Good, Clay. Thank you.
So, Stephanie, where's home for you?
I live in rural western Wisconsin, so Sparta, Wisconsin.
And how did you originally hear about the Thrivetime show business consulting program?
I heard about you guys actually through Entrepreneurs on Fire. You did an interview with JD over there.
And do you remember the when you where you were when you first heard that show?
I was cleaning a house, actually.
Really, you're cleaning a house in Wisconsin, and from the time that
I
you
remember the exact house. Yep.
so from the time that you decided to get up the courage needed to schedule a call until now, how much have you grown?
Since then, let's see, 1,462%.
1,462%. And
Yes.
what kind of a time frame has that been from the time that you reached out to now?
Yep. I reached out. We started working together in March of 2020. It is end of October 2021. So, year and a half.
Wow. Okay. So we've done a lot together, and many things you've done very, very well. And so what I thought I'd do on today's show is I'm going to bring up the things that you've been able to implement that we've taught you. And I'd love to get your take on how you've been able to implement these. So I'm going to go through 10 core systems that I believe you've been able to implement well, and I'd like to get your take on it. First off, you were not resistant to the idea of upgrading your branding. You were not resistant to the idea of upgrading your website, print pieces. You actually leaned in and you wanted to get it done and get it done quickly. Talk to the listeners out there about how having an upgraded website has helped you.
Yeah, the just overwhelming professionalism that people get from visiting our website just really blows them away to make them realize that we are professional and that we stand apart from everybody else in the area. So the website was key. I also think one thing that a lot of clients probably get stuck on is being too nitpicky about things and just wanting it perfect as opposed to wanting it done. So I think the biggest thing is get it done. We can always change things later, but it's better to have an awesome website than a perfect website right now,
Yeah, now step 2, we optimized your website. A lot of people have great websites that look wonderful, but they're not canonically compliant. They're not indexable. They're not searchable. So therefore humans on the planet Earth who are using search engines can't find them. You didn't push back. You leaned into it. Talk to the listeners out there about how optimizing your website has helped increase your leads.
Oh, definitely. So Google leads are huge for us, and people finding our website are huge. So writing the content articles, making sure those keywords are showing up there. So we're showing up when people search, house cleaning or whatever they're searching, whatever search terms we're trying to show up for. So that's huge. Then of course the review side of things is huge too for pointing people towards our website.
Okay, you jumped ahead on my little cheat sheet here, but step 3 is gathering objective reviews. You guys have done a great job of gathering objective reviews from your happy clients. Talk to the listeners out there about the importance of gathering objective Google reviews from your happy clients.
Oh, it's so important. When I started working with Thrive, I definitely didn't think I needed to focus on that. I think I had 12 Google reviews when we started working together. And now between the 2 locations, we have, I think 210 or something like that, 5-star reviews, all real. And when people find us, it's not even how much do you cost, it's when can you come? I don't care how much you cost. So people are ready to close like that.
Now, step 4 is building a transparent and easy to understand sales system. A pricing structure where somebody who maybe is not the most complicated individual, somebody who's very simple like me could understand your pricing real quickly. Again, you've leaned in on that. You've been great to work with. Talk to the listeners about the importance of having a simple to understand pricing structure that your ideal and likely buyer can understand immediately.
You just want them to not be confused or why is this like this or whatever. And also from the inside perspective of the managers or whoever is answering your phones, they need to be able to quickly answer questions and stuff without having a lot of training. So it needs to be able to be in the sales script when they're doing a call, that they can just very quickly know what the numbers are and not have to be complex about it.
Now, step 5 is implementing sales scripting. You have done a great job of implementing sales scripting, and so many entrepreneurs, I'm telling you, they say, I don't want to do a script because I don't want to sound like I'm reading a script. I don't want my staff to be sounding like they're reading. I want my team to have their own personality. I want them to embrace their true selves. And therefore, when their phone rings at their local business, every time their phone rings, it's just like a minefield. You never know if the phone's going to be answered professionally, if it'll be answered at all. You never know what people are going to say. Nothing's written down. It becomes a verbal tribal tradition. It becomes a celebration of jackassery. Tell the listeners out there, why have you embraced sales scripting and how has it helped your company?
Oh, sales scripts are amazing, as well as, of course, the call recording so that we can hold people accountable to the sales script. But it just takes all the guesswork, and then all of the variables of what people say are removed, so that if, you know, something's not working, we're able to pinpoint what that is and tweak one thing as opposed to like whatever the people are deciding to say. So, and it also like, it's just, it flows really nicely, and it doesn't sound robotic at all. Once you get used to it, it's like I could say it off the top of my head, the exact scripts we use, and we know they close, and that way we know it works instead of just people doing whatever they feel like.
Now, you also implemented a quality control checklist system where basically it's not in people's minds. They don't have to remember. Your technicians don't have to remember what they're supposed to do. There's a checklist for everything. I mean, everything. When you go in to clean a home or a commercial business, there's a checklist for everything. Talk to the listeners out there about the mind freedom that you've experienced since, you know, taking it out of your head and putting it on a checklist.
Yeah, it just makes it so simple because it's like, here's the standard the cleaning tech is responsible for and is going to be held accountable to. And if that's not hit, then we know that there's a problem. They don't get to say like, well, I didn't know. They don't get to say I didn't know. And then on the client side, they have expectations set. Instead of them setting the expectation, we are setting the expectation, as opposed to them being like, well, I thought you guys were going to clean my gutters. It's like, well, it ain't on the checklist, so we're not going to clean your gutters, you know?
Now, knowing and optimizing your numbers in terms of the financial aspects of the company, again, you've leaned into that. Yeah, a lot of people who are into fitness, I find, lean into that. They want to know, you know, how much they weigh, what their body fat percentage is, how many calories they're eating. People that don't want to lean into fitness, don't want to know how many calories they're eating, don't want to know their body fat percentage. People that are into artwork and doing well at art, musicians. I've worked with a lot of musicians. The musicians that are good want to know how they sound. They want to hear themselves. People that are not good don't want to hear themselves. Of great ballet dancers and performers want to see themselves in a mirror. They want to analyze. Great builders want to see checklists and processes and blueprints. People, the accountants who are good at their job, they want to know the numbers. Entrepreneurs who are not good at entrepreneurship never want to know their numbers. Talk to the listeners out there about the importance of knowing and optimizing your numbers, actually knowing how much profit you're going to make per job.
Yeah, I would say number one most important thing, in my opinion, is the tracking sheet that we implement together. And that, you know, every single day I'm in the tracking sheet and knowing like exactly where my business is. Especially now, I'm very removed from the day-to-day kind of operations to a point. I'm not answering the phones. I'm not doing this. I'm not like seeing the complaints or any quality issues or whatever. But I have, you know, my finger on the pulse of my business and every single aspect of the, you know, revenue, expenses, leads, closing rates, number of appointments, number of reviews, number of photos that are getting uploaded, like just everything you could possibly know about the business, I know. So I'm never questioning like or going off of emotion, because that's not what we want to do. We want to go off of facts and numbers. And so I know that, you know, we're growing or whatever, we're closing, et cetera, because the numbers don't lie. So I love the tracking sheet. And I think it's the number one thing that people should implement. If they don't do nothing else, they need to know their numbers.
Now, you've attended a multiple in-person 2-day interactive business workshops. And the reason why we include that is a quasi-free service. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's not a revenue generator for me. If you're a client of mine, I say, hey, you can come to these events. We make it very, very affordable. If you're not a client, you can pay $250 to attend the workshop. And if you're in a tight spot, we have scholarship tickets available. But the point is, everybody can afford to attend. Can you explain how the interactive business workshops have actually helped you to maybe further understand the path or to get a whole picture view of the actual business plan?
Yeah, I love the conferences because I always walk away with action items, even though like I go over these things with my coach every week. I always walk away with something like, wow, I didn't, like a fresh perspective on things, because you're interacting with a lot of other business owners and like bouncing ideas off of each other and hearing what worked for them or what people are struggling with. And of course, then like having you like explain it in the way that you do, it just makes it very like actionable. Like I always go away with like, this is what I need to do on Monday to make these things happen. It's not just like this motivational thing.
Do you laugh a little bit? Do you have a little bit of fun?
I do. I have a lot of fun at the conferences.
Okay. And what kind of people attend the conferences?
Not liberals.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay. Yeah, no, it seems like all we start at 7 a.m. and it seems like, the entrepreneurs are like, this is awesome. We start at 7. I can be done by 3. I can still make some calls. Again, you're sitting next to people that have had massive success, people that have been in the program for years. Yeah. Is that helpful to sit next to other people that have actually
I can't even, like, the people I've met there have been they've changed my life. Like, obviously you guys have all changed my life. Literally. I'm not just, blowing smoke here. But meeting the people, the Josh Wilsons of the world, who I literally texted him today. Like, we're on a friend basis. We have calls all the time. Like, just the people that I've met is just, is life-changing.
Now, what is your website if people right now want to go online and they want to look up your website and kind of, see who you are, what you're all about?
Yeah, it is www.serene-clean.com.
And okay, so you came to the workshop, you've implemented the tracking sheet, the group interview. People say, it's so hard to find people. I've never had a hard time finding people. Even right now, I don't have a hard time finding people, but I can tell you it's a system that I've applied. It's a proven system, a proven process that I've done. I've been doing this process of hiring people. This marks, I know it's crazy, 22 years of doing the same system every week, interviewing people. 22 years I've been doing this. I'm a 40-year-old person. I've been doing the group interview for 22 years. Can you talk about the importance of doing the group interview and how it's changed your business?
Oh, it's so important. Like, that has been, I would say that's a big game changer too, because I always have candidates like ready to go when something happens. And, in the past 2 months, we've taken on a huge contract and I have hired probably 40 people, and somebody quit today, somebody quit yesterday. Yeah. I fired somebody 3 days ago. It doesn't matter. Next, so it's amazing.
And just a little context. Just so you know, things that will get you fired, if you're out there and you don't know about serene-clean.com, if you're not on time, if you don't honor your commitments to the client, you're going to get fired. And there are certain people on the planet Earth that don't want to honor their commitments to their client, and they don't want to show up on time. And therefore you're not a good fit for Serene Clean. So she's not running around just randomly firing people. She's just saying, if you have a certain standard and expectation, and on behalf of the customer, because you're a customer advocate, you're saying, this is the standard we have to deliver at. Now, next thing, step number 11 here, you pay yourself well and you don't apologize for it. Now, it could be said that you actually make more money now per month than many people make per year. And I repeat that you make now more money per month than many people now make per year. And you've learned to pay yourself well and not apologize for it. But I knew you, going back to when you first called us, to where, you were really grinding to make it work. And now you're doing really well. Now that you're paying yourself well and not apologizing for it, are you able to enjoy more time freedom to work out, to read, to spend time with family, friends, to think more meta on your business? Or how has that impacted you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Not having to worry about income is really empowering. And also, of course, that just allows you to do a lot of good in the world, because number one, we're here to make money, but money is just a tool. And so that allows us to, help the community, help our families, buy cool stuff, of course, but the time freedom is really, that's the whole point of this for me, is like, I don't want to have to be anywhere I don't want to be at any given time. So, and now I can do that.
Now, final thing is you've been able to sustain diligence and accountability. What does that mean? Diligence is where it's the steady application of effort over time. It's like long after the motivation, the big idea wears off. There's always the excitement of a new idea. Woo! New idea. Yes, new idea. Love the new idea. Just had a new idea. I should buy a boat. I should start a company. It should be called Serene Clean. Well, long after that idea has worn off, then diligence kicks in. And diligence is the steady application of effort. If you're out there and you've ever played sports at a high level, you've ever been a top-notch speaker, you've ever been a top musician, anybody who's out there who's done anything at a high level, the level of preparation is what prepares you for the ovations. Again, the preparation is what prepares you for the ovations. And then, but everybody out there, if you have a sound mind and you're being honest, you need a little bit of accountability. We all need accountability. Somebody that can hold us accountable to push through goals, push through obstacles that may at that time seem insurmountable. Sometimes it's like, it seems overwhelming. How has the weekly meeting and the accountability helped you to stay diligent and consistent over time?
Yeah, I love that my coach definitely like holds me, because everybody needs to be held accountable no matter how high achieving you think you are. And obviously, like, you know, the pig-headed discipline is awesome to have that, but you still need somebody to hold you accountable. And like for me, you know, there's certain things, like there's always some place that you can do better and improve on. And so what my coach Bloomer, he always you know, it's like, okay, it's been 2 weeks now, you haven't gotten a video review, what's going on? And it's like, I don't like getting video reviews. Like, he's calling me out on it. I love that, because like I hate it, but I love it. And because we need to be told where we're failing. I mean, they're telling us where we're good, but we need to be told where we're failing.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, again, you are a diligent woman who's reached out. We only take on 160 clients. I think you certainly occupy one of those spaces well. And what's interesting is, you know, last year our average client grew by 104%, and we didn't have any client that grew by over 500%. So 1,462% is certainly going to impact that average. What advice would you have for anybody out there listening who's contemplating going to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire to schedule a consultation? Because again, if people want to schedule a free consultation with me, I don't charge for that. We do have call screeners. They're going to make sure I'm not wasting your time and you're not wasting my time to see if you're a good fit. But there's people out there contemplating going to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire.com. That's thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire.com. What advice would you have or feedback would you have for somebody thinking about attending one of our in-person workshops or scheduling a one-on-one consultation?
I think that most people should definitely go to the conference, but when it comes to the one-on-one coaching, I think you really need to look at yourself and like say, am I ready to maybe be told to do things that I'm not comfortable with, and am I ready to do it? Because you can always hem and haw and go back and forth, but if you're not ready to implement anything, it's probably not a good fit, because your coaches are going to push you, and that's the whole point. You're paying them to push you. So if you're not ready and willing to make changes, then don't bother.
I tell you what, I really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. I'm so excited about your growth there, and hopefully we'll see you in December. Are you coming in December to the conference?
Not with this big job. I'm on a military base. I'm on a military base right now. So
I'm rejected. Okay, that's fine. But maybe we'll see you at the next one. Okay. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Clay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I own Serene Clean, and this is my grandma Sue. And we are gonna briefly just go over the Dream 100 drop-offs that she does for Serene Clean and how it has really helped grow our business and spread the word of our business in our area. So just a little background on Serene Clean and working with Thrive Coaching. So I've used Thrive out of Oklahoma for 2 years this month. And when we started working with Thrive, we were at about $200,000 in revenue a year. And this year we're projected to do $1.4 million in revenue a year. So it's grown very, very drastically since we've implemented all of the systems. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is one of the systems that they have encouraged and harassed us to use, and it works really good. And that's Dream 100 drop-offs. And that's something that my grandma Sue does for me, and she is absolutely killing it. So, Grandma, basically, if you can just describe what it is that you do at these drop-offs. What do you do?
When I get there, of course, I introduce myself and the business, and I just tell them that I am a business-to-business call. I'm not there to sell them anything. I'm just there to introduce them to a new business in our area.
Mm-hmm. And what do you bring and leave with them?
I actually have a little gift for them, and then a sweet treat, and I have the paperwork that explains all about Serene Clean. And as I'm talking to them, I try to give a little bit of talk about things that would encourage them, makes it a little more relaxed and casual. And then I do sign my name on all the things, so I tell them that they can't forget me, and put a little smiley face with it. And leave them as I go. Then I say, and here's a sweet treat to get you through the day.
So basically she just goes, gets a box of donuts, hits all her stops for the day. And what she's leaving behind is basically a sales sheet that explains what makes Serene Clean different. And on the back of it is commercial references of companies that we already cleaned for. So the whole purpose of this is to get us more janitorial accounts, because those are excellent accounts for us. And what the thing she's also asking is, how do they clean now? And, are they using a service now? How happy are they with it? Like, is there any issues? And who are you usually talking to? Are you talking to the receptionist? Who are you talking to?
It's kind of split. A lot of the businesses I've been to recently, I've actually talked to the owners. If it's a large business, I'll be talking to the lady or person, it's usually a girl, at the front desk. And I ask her, sometimes they don't know or they don't tell me. And sometimes they do know. So it just works out really well to find out from them, do they have a cleaner? And like a lot of them that I talk to the owners, they actually are doing a lot of the cleaning themselves. So it just gives me a little heads up too of what they're doing, and then I pass it on to Steph.
Yeah, so then at the end of her stop, she types up a little synopsis of who she talked to, what was the reaction, things like that. And, is there room? Because really the goal of her doing this is to get the foot in the door for me to do a walkthrough and bid an account. That is the whole purpose of this. And overall, how would you say the reaction is?
It's been really well. You don't know, but I get excited when it's a great day and the sun is shining, and sometimes it's snowing, but whatever. When I have a great day and everybody's just happy to see me, it just makes it a fun thing to know them. And I've been from the area for a long time, so a lot of times I see old friends also while I'm out.
Yeah, this has worked really well for Grandma in particular because it's just coming from a very not salesy place at all. It's not, they're not trying to sell. She's just trying to introduce them. And it's very, a lot of people are just so like turned off by, very hard selling. And so it's just like, one, getting them with the donuts, like nobody will turn that down. And then really it's just, a very friendly thing. And this is like a long game thing. Almost never is it the first stop that they're gonna, have us do a walkthrough. A lot of times that sheet will sit on a desk for a long time. And then when they're ready to go, and they're either pissed off about their current service or they're just overwhelmed doing it themselves. Who was that, lady who dropped off the donuts? Where is that sheet? Serene Clean. And then it's top of mind. And it's just really impressive. And so kind of like the highlight of her doing this, she's done this. How long have you been doing this, did you say?
8 months.
8 months. She got me a walkthrough at a very large manufacturing facility who is like a dream client. It's daytime commercial, Monday through Friday. Like an amazing account, like who I would wildly want. And she got me a walkthrough and we ended up winning the bid and have been cleaning for them for 2 weeks now. And that's like a $5,000 a month account. So it's significantly impactful. And again, this is long game thinking of, she's making these introductions and, we've gotten plenty of smaller accounts, as well from her doing these things. And, just being consistent, that's the biggest thing is, you do this every week, right?
Right.
Every single week, unless we have a significant snowstorm, every week. And it's fairly, inexpensive from like, for us, we always do the donuts. I've tried other things, but the donuts just seem to be a hit. And yeah, I just know a lot of people are hesitant to do this, but if we can do this in a small town and to have that kind of success rate, and we just want to be top of mind, and it's working and it's growing the business really, really well, and it's just fun to work with Grandma. So so that is how we do Dream 100, and it's working great, and we just say go do it, don't be scared, just make yourself do it, basically. And for me, I don't like to do it, but I knew Grandma would be great at it, and so this is one of those things of delegating and outsourcing if you don't want to do it. But if you don't have somebody to do it, you need to do it, because if you don't, your business will just not grow the way you want. That is how we handle this. So thanks, Grandma.
My name is Elizabeth Walker. I own a business, Nook and Cranny Homekeeping LLC. I was looking to learn pretty much anything there is to learn about business. I'm a new business owner, less than a year. So I really needed to know everything about everything. I have learned how to implement systems from hiring to the actual day-to-day systems in the company. I like that the workshop gave tangible systems, but it was very entertaining and interactive. Clay's presentation style was energetic, it was exciting, and it gave me hope that there's actually a lot of success still to be done in my business. The atmosphere was energizing, invigorating, nothing boring about it. It was absolutely exciting. Maybe that's the biggest thing I've learned, is that this can be simple, and I think that's what they're missing out on. My name is Elizabeth Walker. I'm the owner of Nook and Cranny Homekeeping. I first heard about clay on the radio on 1170 KFAQ. I was just switching through the radio stations and I heard them talking and they were kind of funny, so I hung around a little bit. Clay's team has impacted my amount of internet leads through Google, and we just have people calling us almost every single day saying they found us on Google. So it's definitely broadened our horizons and our clientele, but we also have people that find us in other avenues, and I always direct them to our Google reviews. The typical interaction during our weekly meetings is fun, it is accountability, it's an hour of hard discussions and a lot of learning. We try to laugh. I always share concerns I had during the week. The team always asks me what I need help with, and then they help put me back on track where I need to be. Every business owner needs Clay Clark and his team because they put a path out in front of you, a proven system of success, and then they coach you along the way. They don't do it for you. They don't hold your hand. They just stand right beside you. They cheer you on. They share with you what you need to hear, whether it's good or it's bad or it's what you want to hear or it's what you don't want to hear. Every business owner needs that accountability next to them, that proven person next to them that can keep them going. Most people think that they don't need a business or marketing consultant because human nature tends to say we can do it all, and sometimes we believe that, or maybe people are prideful and they don't want to ask for help, or I'm not really sure. I believe that one of the smartest things I've ever done in my whole life, definitely in my business, is hiring Clay Clark and his team. Somebody is missing out on years and years and years of experience if they don't hire them. You can either make mistakes in your business because you don't have the experience, so you just go out there and you make mistakes. Or you can have somebody next to you that has been there, they've done that, and they can give you a heads up, you're going in the wrong direction, or they can give you just that wise advice that says, maybe you should go in this direction. That's what they're missing out on. They're missing out on years of experience that they have not gleaned themselves.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. I have successfully gained our second largest commercial client, and this was during COVID. So again, I started working with Luke and Clay in February, and then COVID hit in was mid-March or so. So for the entire month of April, we were shut down residential, April and May, I believe. And so despite that, and again, being a new business and all this stuff, I mean, we came out of COVID like stronger than ever, and now hitting our highest numbers in the history of the company. Just leads just piling in, and the beauty is when people call us, they're already sold because of our Google reviews, our online presence, the no-brainer offer that we now give to our clients, which is if they book their second appointment within a month of the first, they get 50% off. And again, they're just ready to book. I hardly have to do any work, it feels like sometimes, to actually book people. So that's amazing. Every week I meet with Luke, and it's awesome. Obviously, I'm in Wisconsin, he's in Oklahoma, but we have a great time. I know I can text him at any time, call him at any time with any issues I'm having, especially when COVID did hit. They were so helpful in helping me get the PPP grants and everything settled away there, and really pushed me to make sure I was on the ball and getting all of the grants that I was possibly able to, which was amazing. So they've just been such a wealth of information, and when I'm freaking out because, a burning fire is happening, Luke's there to calm me down and, back me off the cliff edge. And it's just awesome to have him, as a resource there. So every week we meet and we have a big tracking sheet. So we track all my leads, we track my numbers, where the leads are coming from, any complaints. I love my tracking sheet. I know it's probably a little extra, but I love it because I can see everything that's actually happening in my business. And this is so important because it's not like I'm just saying, well, I feel like it's busier. I know if it's busier, and I know, are we making a profit every week? Why or why not? It's just amazing. And then I'm tracking my Google reviews, tracking my competitors' Google reviews, and Luke is always pushing me to get more reviews, even though, I was not very comfortable with that at first. It felt just pushy, but now I'm seeing the effects of having a lot of Google reviews, a lot to me at least. It's not very high compared to others, but people are finding us on Google and they're already ready to book because of our review. So, going for those reviews has been so integral in having basically easy sell leads. So tracking has been just so vital, and I really enjoy it actually. So anybody who is skeptical about working with Clay or Luke, the whole team at Thrivetime, I was definitely skeptical, and to me, again, new business, it seemed like a lot of money, but in comparison to other business coaches, especially like specific to the cleaning industry like I'm in, I mean, you're talking like $10,000 a month, and honestly, I feel like I get like that much value out of Luke just by meeting with him once a week. It's amazing, and it has just transformed my business in every single aspect. I mean, I always, aspired to be a successful business owner, and now, I mean, it's not even a question that this business is going to be successful, even if a pandemic happens and you have to shut down. I mean, if I can make it through that and directly because of them, it is absolutely because of them. Obviously, I'm a hard worker, blah, 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 all that. And, I was made to be an entrepreneur. However, having them as like the guiding light of this is what you need to do, and it's very straightforward, doesn't mean it's easy, but it is very straightforward of what needs to be done. And I like that. I like having that step-by-step process, and I love having the accountability, because there's a lot of stuff that they have me do that I don't want to do. It's not fun, but it works. And that, having that discipline to just do the things week after week, regardless if it's dull or boring or you don't want to do it, Luke really pushes me to do those things, which I love. I mean, I hate it at the time, but I love it because I can see how it's affecting my business in a positive way. And, I don't want to be just good. I want to be the best. And I see them as an integral part of that. And I will not be the best if I don't have them with me. So I love having them on my team, and it just feels like the best decision I ever made in my business. And I know I'm still really small and things like that, but there's a reason I reached out to them when I was small, because I want to be big, and I want to not grow and then collapse because I grew too quickly without the correct systems in place. So it's been amazing, and I would suggest anybody who's willing to put in the work and do things that make you uncomfortable, reach out to them. But if you are not willing to change the way you are doing things, if you're not willing to implement a no-brainer, if you're not willing to ask for Google reviews, if you're not willing to write content, really, really boring content for your website so the Google bots find you, then don't reach out. You need to be willing to put in the work as well. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be, when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous, just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success. And I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas, and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees, and now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrivetime, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences, and amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement.
Okay, Aaron Antis, guess who's joining us for the December 4th and 5th, 2025 Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop? Whoa. Ooh, Santa Claus? No, we will not be joined by Santa Claus, but we will be joined by Eric Trump, the son of the 45th and now 47th President of these United States. And yes, Amanda Grace will be in the place. And yes, Dr. Stella Manuel will be there, so you know it will go well. Yes, we have Mel K in the house. Pastor Phil and Tammy Hotson-Pillar will be hosting this event at their beautiful church right there in sunny Anaheim, California. Yes, folks, make this a December to remember.
He's fresh.
Make this a December to remember and join us at the 2-day interactive business growth workshops. For over 20 years, folks, I've been hosting business growth workshops where we're going to teach you marketing, sales systems, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, sales training, search engine optimization, accounting, workflow development, financial management, all this and more. How do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, how do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com and request tickets today. And now Eric Trump, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States, and this just in from our home office, President Donald J. Trump is now the 47th president of these United States as well.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
he needed someone to run the companies for him. And so the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second.
Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And it ain't over now.
The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here with...
There's a lot of togetherness and closeness, camaraderie.
So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody. Don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences. And so to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard.
Yep.
And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch. And this is also your opportunity to meet some of the great speakers like Pastor Dave Scarlett. You could meet Mel Kay. You could meet Amanda Grace. You could meet Dr. Stella Emanuel. You could just grab a coffee. You could find some alone time. You could get lost in the bathroom. You could try to go and get a photo with one of the speakers. You could try to photobomb a photo where someone else is getting a photo with the speakers. You could go attempt to find your phone, wallet, and your keys.
My phone, wallet, keys, yeah, phone, wallet, keys.
Whoa.
Now that's a good idea.
Well, it's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business.
It's tough.
But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet. Whoa. Add to that, Eric Trump, the man that runs the Trump Organization. You say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch.
Who's with me? Let's go! Come on! Hey!
It's an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. Someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay, I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now. thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event. Again, the event's going to be on December 4th and 5th in sunny Anaheim, California. Great weather. Make this a December to remember. Eric Trump, the man who leads the Trump Organization. It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. You think that's going to change your life? I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Now, don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. That is, I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. I mean, it is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right, really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop in beautiful Anaheim, California.
I'm Kay Dixon. I'm from Sarasota, Florida.
I'm Vince Suzuki, also from Sarasota, Florida.
He dragged me here.
Yep, was here in 2018, and it changed my business, and I built another business, and now I'm here to do it again with this business. So.
Yeah, I'm a brand strategist, and it's been really easy to go to a lot of events like this and just leave really in your head like what to do next. And already there's the strategic, step-by-step, real-life implementation that we can do to our business, and I'm so grateful to be here and very excited that Eric Kemp is here, and that is going to be epic.
Hi, my name is Erica, and it has been amazing being here. The conference, I'm learning so much. Everything is perfect for me.